Hey yogis, my name is Brittany Timberlake and welcome to your yin-yang practice. I am practicing in the lovely Amana Yoga studio here in Quispamsis, New Brunswick. And I feel like a little bit of a yin rebel with this type of practice because typically in yin, to really target the deeper layers of fascia and connective tissue, we want the muscles to be cold. But there's some days where my mind feels so busy that it's hard to settle into the stillness of yin without moving my body a little bit. So we are going to move through a bit of a slow flow, and then we'll move through a very still, low to the ground yin practice. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get started laying down on our backs. We'll take our legs and our arms and take up lots of space. You can wiggle the shoulder blades around so they're flat on the floor. Rocking your head side to side. Noticing how the body feels today. Noticing where the body makes contact with the floor. You might like to close the eyes just to really turn the awareness inside. Feeling the rise and the fall of your belly as you're breathing. You might like to make the inhales and exhales a little longer, breathing in and out of the nose. So as we move through the beginning yang portion and then the yin, the breath is always our anchor to the present moment. The breath is always the link between the mind and the body. We'll open the eyes if they're closed. And on the inhale, we'll bring the right knee in towards the torso. You could clasp the hands on the shin and then just gently rocking the knee side to side. And the bottom leg is strong and flexed. And we'll take our right arm out to the side. The left hand gently guides the knee over to the left. Gentle twist. Just warming up the spine. And then coming back to center, extending the right leg out. We'll draw the left knee in. Hands clasp on the shin, and then gentle movements with the left leg. We'll take our left hand, arm out to the side, and the right hand gently guides the left leg to the right. And then coming back to center, we'll draw both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, gently rocking side to side. The next inhale, we'll kick the heels up towards the ceiling and just pointing and flexing the feet a few times. Could roll in one direction and the other. And bending the knees, we'll just take a couple rock and rolls along the spine. Just a couple times. And then coming to a seat, and then coming onto all fours. We'll take our hands underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hips. And the belly drops towards the floor, tailbone rises as you look up. You could roll out through your neck. Next exhale, rounding through the spine, chin in towards the chest. Let's move through a few of these cat-cows. Just at your own pace. You could move a little bit slower or faster than me. And then coming back to a neutral table, we'll just bring the knees a little bit wider. Big toes come to touch as we sink the hips back, resting in a child's pose. Forehead resting on the mat. And keep a little bit of activity through the arms, reaching out through the fingertips, the hips moving down towards the heels. Inhale, rippling forward onto all fours. On the exhale, the elbows hug in as we lower down. Inhale, chest lifts forward and up, engaging the legs. Exhale, lower, pressing up and back into a child's pose. Inhaling, rippling forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up and back, child's pose. Let's flow through this a couple more times together, linking breath and movement. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up and back, child's pose. Coming forward again. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up, child's pose. Let's do this one more time. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Child's pose. You can let the hips sway, let the forehead rock side to side. And inhaling, coming back up onto all fours. We'll take the hands out a little bit in front of us, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back into a downward dog. Fingers are spread wide. You could let the hips sway, pedaling of the feet. And we'll take just little movements with the hands. So the hands start to walk back towards the feet, and we're coming into a forward fold at the back of the mat. You could have a generous bend through the knees, making this about the spine, letting yourself sway. And on our next inhale, we'll slowly ragdoll, roll our way all the way up. The arms reach out and up, inhaling, look up. And on the exhale, the right arm comes down by our side as we lift up and over with the left arm, creating a long line from the left foot all the way up to the left fingertips. Imagine you could breathe just into that left lung and expand the rib cage. Inhaling, coming back through center, both arms lift. Exhale, left hand, left arm by our side as we reach up and over with the right arm. Inhaling, coming back up through center. We'll swan dive forward into a forward fold. Inhale, lift to a flat back. And starting to walk the hands to the front of the mat, coming into a downward dog. Feet start to walk towards the hands at the front of the mat. Bending the knees, sinking down through the hips. Inhale, arms reach as we come into chair. Weight is even through the feet. Shoulder blades relaxing down and away from the ears. We'll take our hands to our heart. Inhale, lift through the spine. On the exhale, the left elbow comes towards the outside of the right thigh. And twisting through the spine, pressing the palms together. Inhaling, coming back to center, but staying low through the legs. Exhale, twisting to the other side. Inhale back to center, and then reaching the arms up overhead. You might take a little back bend here if you like. Exhale, hands through heart center. And we'll take a big step back with the left foot. So we're coming into warrior two. Sinking down through the legs. The hips are opening towards the long edge of the mat. And can we find the yin-yang here? So the legs, you could think, are more yin, they're closer to the ground, they're steady. And the arms more yang, they're light and airy, closer to the sky. Inhaling, the left arm and hand reaches down the back leg as we lift the right arm up and back. Opening through the right rib cage. Exhaling, coming forward. The right forearm lands on the right thigh, and we'll sweep the left arm forward and up. Inhaling back up to a warrior two. Extending the front leg, or straightening the front leg, we'll come into triangle, reaching the front arm forward, and then that right arm comes down to the inside of the right leg, opening through the chest. Inhaling, coming all the way back up into a warrior two. And we'll square the hips to the front of the mat as we come into a lunge. Twisting to the right. On the exhale, the right arm reaches behind, the left arm reaches forward. And then we'll take that right hand and reach it towards the left leg as the left arm comes up and back. Inhaling, coming back up so the torso is facing the short edge or the front edge of the mat. Exhaling, the left knee lands, the right hand lands. Both hands land, actually. We'll let the hips sink forward and down. The left hand plants, right arm reaches out and up as we twist to the right. You could let the right knee fall to the side. You might even like to bring a little bit of movement into the shoulder. You could reach forward and back, making this all your own. Exploring how your body feels today. Coming back to center, we'll bring both hands to the mat, tucking the left toes, and then walking the body towards the left long edge of the mat, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. This is easy and free, just letting the torso sway side to side. The weight is even in the feet. And we'll take our left hand just underneath our heart, fingertips press into the earth, opening up on the exhale to the right. Right hand replaces the left, opening up to the left side. We'll bring the left hand to meet the right, just lowering down through the hips, and we'll take a little bit of a side lunge from side to side. So coming to the right, extending the left leg, you could point the left toes or have them pointing up. The right arm to the inside of the right thigh, opening up through the chest. Finding some fluidity in the breath and in the mind. And then coming over to low lunge here on the other side. You could use your hands to slowly walk over, opening up through the chest, expanding through the heart. And then we'll come back to center. And then the hands continue to walk to the front of the mat, coming onto the ball of the left foot. Left foot now meets the right at the front, coming into a forward fold. We'll take our peace fingers and wrap them around our big toes. And the elbows come out to the sides as we gently pull the torso forward and down. Being kind to the hamstrings. Nothing about this is aggressive. And releasing the grip of the toes, letting the hips sink down as the arms reach up, landing in a chair. Inhaling, coming all the way up, cactusing the arms, the sternum lifts up. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, elbows bend again, opening up through the chest. One more time, inhale, reach. Exhale, bending the elbows. We'll bring our hands to our hips. We're going to take a big step back with the right foot. We'll come into warrior two on this side. It might take you a little while to get where you're going. The arms are light and airy. The legs are strong and sturdy. On your next breath in, we'll take that right arm and hand down the back leg as we lift the left arm up and back. Reversing our warrior. Expanding through the left rib cage and the left lung. We'll inhale back to warrior two, bending the front arm so the forearm can land on the left thigh. The right arm sweeps up and over, creating a long side angle line from the right foot up to the right fingertips. Inhaling, coming back up to warrior two, straightening the front leg as we set up for triangle. And the left arm reaches forward, hinging here at the hip. Left arm to the inside of the left leg, reaching the right arm up. And it's not about how low we go with the left arm. It's more about opening through the chest. Inhaling, coming all the way back up, settling in warrior two. Transitioning onto the ball of the back foot as we come into a crescent lunge, the arms reaching up. Exhaling, twisting to the left arm reaches behind, the right arm reaching forward, back leg is strong. Left hand just reaches towards the right leg as we reach the right arm up and back. Inhaling, coming back up, and then back into our crescent lunge. Exhale, the hands and the knee land. Planting the right hand as we open the left arm up. And just like we did on the other side, you could let that left knee fall out. You could open up, bring movement into the arms or the left arm. And then coming back, so the left hand is landing. We'll tuck the right toes, turning the body towards the right long edge of the mat. And we'll come into a more static forward fold. You might like to reach for your ankles. You might like to just have your hands and palms on the mat. You might even like to gently clasp the hands at the back of the neck, just a traction in the spine. And the next inhale, we'll just come up to a flat back. We'll take our hands to our hips. Slowly inhaling, coming all the way back up. We'll heel toe the feet together. And then just walking to the front of the mat. So we're going to flow on down, head on down to yin town. Inhale the arms, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back. Plank from your toes or your knees. Exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, come forward and down. And we'll take our hands and just clasp them at the lower back. Really strong legs. And next inhale, reaching the hands behind us, reaching the chest forward. There's a little bit of a chest expansion here. And then exhaling, just letting yourself come all the way down onto the mat. You could rest on your forehead or on a cheek. And we're going to move into Sphinx. We'll take the elbows underneath the shoulders. And as we switch gears, switch into the yin mode, we want to let go of all muscular effort through the lower back and through the legs. Be a nice time to close the eyes, checking in with the breath. noticing how the body felt a little bit fired up, the heart beating a little faster. And maybe now the breath starts to slow down a little. The heart doesn't have to work as hard. For the next few breaths, we'll just let ourselves come forward and down again. You're noticing how the lower back feels. You might like to shake your hips a little bit side to side or bend the knees and sway the legs. We'll take our hands to the outsides of our ribs so we can press up into a table. We're going to move into sleeping swan on the right side. We'll take our right knee in towards the right wrist. The left leg walks behind us. If you're at home and you have really sensitive knees, just come onto your back and move into a figure 4. So coming down onto the forearms if you're in swan. Targeting that right hip and glute IT band, so this can feel really intense. So as long as it's not painful, see if you can just breathe into the sensations. If you're in sleeping swan, starting to walk up onto the hands, you can press back into a downward dog or a child's pose. If you're on your back in figure 4, just hugging the knees in and rocking side to side. And in your own time, we're going to move into the hip opener on the other side. Remembering each side of the body can be very different. So setting up your sleeping swan or figure 4 for what works for you today. Giving the mind and the body permission to relax a little bit more. Can you relax the muscles in the left hip a little bit more? And taking our time to release from wherever we are. Again, moving into downward dog. Or just letting the hips rock if you're on your back. We will eventually come to meet on our seat, but there's no rush. So taking any counter movements or relishing in a stillness before that, it's perfect. And when you're ready, we'll come into a seated butterfly. We'll take the soles of the feet together And you can choose if you want the feet out a little wider, a little further, a little closer. We'll inhale, really tall spine. On the exhale, tilting the pelvis forward, rounding through the spine, releasing any grip with the hands. You might even like to flip the palms as a sign or a gesture of surrender, of letting go. And we're targeting the inner thighs, the lower back, the spine. So just taking note in a non-judgmental way how all of those parts in your body feel. And so slow and gently, we're just going to roll up through the spine. And when you get to the top, just letting the shoulder blades roll down and back. We'll take a big inhale together and then just sighing it out. And the hands, they help the knees come together. Leaning back, hands land behind you as the knees fall side to side. And then just coming to sit cross-legged, we'll take just a little twist before we come down to our final resting pose. And we'll take our left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right. You could roll out through the neck. we'll flow through center, rolling over here to the other side. Right hand on the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. The inhale draws the crown of the head up. Exhale creates a little bit more space to twist. Coming back to center. So in our final few moments together, you're welcome to stay seated. Maybe take this more of a seated meditation, or you could join me on your backs. Just as we started, the arms and the legs take up lots of space. Letting all of the yin and yang work that we've just done, just let it marinate really deep into the body and the mind. Soaking up the quiet and the stillness. Let's make those inhales and exhales a little bit deeper and longer. Awareness comes back into the body as we move our fingers and our toes, rolling out the wrists and the ankles. Inhale the arms up overhead. And on the exhale, let the arms relax, bending the knees, rolling onto one side. And we'll just take a few breaths in this fetal shape. We'll press our way up. We'll bring our hands together at our heart. Thank you so much for sharing your yin-yang practice with me, and I really hope to see you again soon. Namaste.